I've been using the Hollyland Lark M2 for a little over a year now, and two things that have really stood out to me that I want to start this review with are the reliability and the practicality of it. Now, what I mean by reliability is, in a couple senses, the battery life is about 10 hours and the case charges up to another 3 times, I believe. So in the case, you get about 40 hours of battery life, which is just like unparalleled in the wireless mic universe. Coming from the Rode wireless mic, this is not the Pro version, it was the one before. I'd have to charge the receiver and the mic separately, which was just a big nuisance at times. That's two things you have to charge, and they didn't end up lasting very long, like maximum 2-3 hours on a battery. Having that battery life is fantastic and has been a very reliable feature for me. And then also just having it charge in the case with the pogo pins is super convenient. And with that one cable in the back, you just always know that your mics are charged up and your receiver. And for reliability also, we'll do a quick range test here, but I've never had any issues with the range. The only thing I've noticed is sometimes I'm filming on the DJI Pocket 3 right now, which is another thing I'll get into in a little bit, but I love that it is adaptable to that. I've noticed that if I have it facing the other way, I'll try to show you here, but if the receiver's on the other side, if I block it and the camera's in front of it, then sometimes I might get a tiny little cutout. That is just something that I can easily work around by not flipping it. So let's do a quick range test. And they say it can go up to, I think, 1,000 feet. So that's quite a lengthy test. I don't know any scenarios where I'd actually be doing this range, but let's give it a shot and see what happens. So I got the USB-C adapter right in the pocket there. So we're probably at 100 feet now, and I still don't have the windsock on. You might be getting a little bit of wind noise. Let's put it on now. I do wish this windsock was a little easier to put on. All right, windsock is on now. Probably around 175, 200 feet away. Let's see how that sounds. Probably 300 feet right now. You can see the second set of trees right there. I can't really imagine a scenario where I'd want to be further than this. This is already way further than I've ever filmed. So I'm walking back now. The wind is definitely picking up right now, so it'll be interesting to see if that comes across. But you can see I'm crossing the first set of trees here, and you can see the stand over there, probably about 200 feet away. And we're getting a little bit closer, so we'll see if the wind's picking up and also if my voice isn't cutting out at all. It's probably 10 to 15 mile an hour winds blasting like right at me. Can't really see because there aren't many leaves, but all right, now it's faster, definitely like 15 miles an hour now. And now we're within 50 feet of the pocket. Yeah, this wind is really ripping right now. Another aspect of the practicality is just the fact that you can interchange it with, say, for example, the DJI Pocket. On my phone, I can plug in the USB-C receiver. Here, I can plug it into my camera if I want to record audio from here. And then it also has a lightning adapter. So for example, last week I lent it to a friend that has an older iPhone that still has lightning, and she was able to use the mic system for some interviews that she had to do. This kind of versatility is just really nice in general. You can fit the lightning or the USB-C adapter. There's a little groove here. You can put it into the case. I wish there were ability to have the receiver with the 3.5 jack and a lightning or a USB-C all in one. That would be nice, but keep in mind that this does not charge in here. It doesn't need a charge. It just uses your phone's battery for actually connecting to the mic system. For the versatility, I get why they did that. And you can kind of put it in this little knapsack here that carries all the windsocks and the lanyards and kind of everything. There's just sometimes I wish that I could have both in here, but I normally know what I'm going to go shoot on, so I can choose one. One tip is that if you're going to switch to one of the adapters that are USB-C or lightning, when you take out the regular transceiver, you should hold the power button and turn it off. You can see it's on right now. And then if you just hold it, it will turn it off. Because by nature, when you pull it out, it auto connects. So if you remove it and just throw it in the bag, the next time you go to use it, it will likely be dead. So just a tip, if you take this out and are not going to use it, make sure to turn it off and throw it in the little bag. And then with this size also, the nice thing is it just looks like a little button or a pin of some sort. And they give the ability to put these stickers on. So I have one that's blacked out. So if the person I'm interviewing is wearing a darker color or a black color, you can kind of just put it there and it's very discreet. And then one of my favorite things is on the other mic that I have. So check this out. It's actually right here. I've been using it the whole time. So on this one, for example, I put a sticker and then I put my initials here, and then I am able to just disguise it as a regular microphone, which is great for interviews. And speaking of interviews, one thing that's really useful is the one-touch noise cancellation. So there are 2 levels. You can use it in the app and have a strong or a weak. But I'll give you an example right now of when I was at CES. I was doing an interview, and I believe in one of the interviews I pressed it. It was on, and then I turned it off.
And this was also the most impressive function for the users and for the media who came up to see the product. Even if you change the picture on a daily basis, the battery will last up to 1 year.
This is a test I've kind of been interested in trying. So I have the windsock on because I'm still by the river and it's kind of windy still. Also, this is a pretty bad environment for ambient sound because I'm right next to the road here, you can see. So right now we're on no noise cancellation. I learned a couple months ago that there's a weak and a strong setting. When you connect it to your phone, you can change that. Normally you can just tap it to turn it on or off here. But so I want to try next, I'll try the weak setting, and then I will try the strong so we can compare the two and see how much of a difference it actually makes. And now we are on the weak mode as these cars whiz by. But yeah, the wind's still about the same, about 8 to 10 miles an hour. So hopefully maybe you can hear me a little bit better now with the weak noise cancellation. Alrighty, so now we are on the strong setting. Hopefully it's just picking up my voice very well and not much of these cars in the background, but we will find out in post. I usually find that having the built-in noise cancellation is better than trying to do it in post. I've found that it has a little bit better results personally, unless you use some tools like maybe Adobe Podcasts, but that can sometimes cut out certain parts of the voice because it does so much processing. So yeah, I just like having it built in and using the best one available at the time. Like I was saying about the practicality, you can see it's blue right here. If I tap it to green right here, the mic inside of here will also switch to green, which is really nice when you're interviewing someone. Let's say you are in a quiet scenario and then it all of a sudden gets loud. You can just tap yours, change it, and it will also change theirs without having to go and do it on them separately. I got 2 of these Movos, which I find work really well with the actual Hollyland Lark 2. I'll link these below, but you can also attach flags to these, and flags are those kind of square things that you can put below if you want to have your own branding or a logo on it, for example, to look a little more official. But speaking of the price, when I bought it, it was around $180, I believe, but now it seems to be at the $119, $120 price point. And it seems to be relatively consistent, although I've seen it go on sale once in a while. I would highly recommend getting the combo pack because it just has everything that you need in it, and it's just much cheaper now than it used to be. So honestly, the bang for the buck that you get with this system, having 2 microphones and the receivers, every receiver you'd need pretty much, and then you maybe spend a little bit more on microphones, you're still getting a sweet deal on a very nice wireless microphone system. This is not sponsored at all. It's just something I've really enjoyed using. And when I was at CES this year, I found it really invaluable. It's pretty much replaced all my microphone systems like this, the Rode wireless mic here, the lavaliers that I've had, and like I was showing you, my previous Rode mic system. If you need any more convincing, MKBHD even uses this microphone, which should tell you enough about how good it is. One of my favorite things is just the discreet nature about it. Like the Rode wireless mic is kind of large. I mean, relatively, right? These are all pretty small microphones, but when you put it on your clothing, it sags, it's kind of heavy. You're kind of aware that it's there. The DJI Mic Mini that just came out is proof alone that this is a novel kind of shape for these. And in my opinion, the Hollyland Lark still looks a little bit cleaner, and the magnetic system is fantastic. And I've never lost one because the magnets are pretty strong. I'll be putting out my long-term review of the Osmo Pocket 3 that I'm filming on right now at some point soon. So I'll put that here when it's ready. But in the meantime, you can check out an interview I did with the Hollyland Lark M2 at CES right here. So you can kind of get an example of what it sounds like in a busier environment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.